W7 live from the RESCH. Well, Brady, our bracket got busted all to heck with that Kettle Moraine Lutheran Xavier game. I'm saying we got to give a lot of credit to the Hawks. El Kroll had a fantastic second half, and they just didn't give up. And to me, that's really what epitomizes the state tournament is, you don't give up, you play it all the way through, and they just they made it happen.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, about 2 minutes to go, they had to foul because Kettle Moraine Lutheran wasn't planning on shooting the ball. And, they're down 4 with about 1:45 left, and El Kroll just, took over the next, 40 seconds, had 6 points, and just flipped the game on its head, and they didn't look back from there.
Xavier will move on to play Madison Edgewood, who, boy, did they play a really I just thought they played a complete game in both ends of the court and really just ran out early and put the game away early on a really overwhelmed Baldwin Woodville team.
Yeah, for sure. The one thing that I've always liked about Edgewood, especially this year, is their 2 freshman guards, Beanie Thompson and Anna Miller. Anna Miller was fantastic today.
She sure was.
If she didn't make a name for herself before, she definitely did now. And yeah, that guard play for them, they just kind of got past Baldwin Woodville's defense before they even got a chance to get set, and they got a lot of early offense, and especially in the first half off that.
Well, time to move on to D4. That game's coming up at 6:30. The first game's the Prairie School, the number 4 seed, against the defending state champs and third visit in a row for Laconia Spartans. First of all, just kind of thoughts on this matchup and what you're looking to see.
Yeah, this is one that I was hoping we got to see here last year at the RESCH Center, but they had to play in a sectional final. And, I know some of the Prairie School kids weren't happy with how they played in that sectional final, and they really wanted to get a shot back at Laconia this year. And, for them, they have a lot of athletic guards, and, when they can get turnovers and get out in transition, they're going to get a lot of easy baskets. So, it might be a little, not the strategy most teams would take trying to go at Laconia and just try to be aggressive and get turnovers because they got a lot of really good guards. But Meg Decker and Ava Collier-White, if they can create some turnovers, they got a chance to get out and get some easy points.
When you look at Laconia and just the way they're built and the way they play the game, they again just another really solid team as far as execution goes. And the thing that always strikes me with this Laconia team is there's just so many weapons. You can't just say, okay, stop Tierney Madigan, because then Ava Engel comes out and pops out 2 threes. You can't just do that. You can't just stop Callista Vandenberg, because then it's just the Morgan's attack. It's just wave after wave after wave. If I'm Prairie School. Well, let me just ask it this way. What has to happen tonight for Prairie School to not just compete in this game, which I think they will, but to actually win this game against the defending champs?
If I'm the Prairie School, for one, I look at how Laconia played last year, especially against Aquinas, who was a very quality Division IV team, and obviously went up to D3 this year. But Aubrey Leonard was super comfortable in the second half and kind of got whatever she wanted and got to the free throw line and kind of closed that thing out. If I'm them, I'm kind of looking at if they can get her and force her into some mistakes, and if they can get her kind of rattled, then maybe the offense for them gets a little bit jumbled up, and at that point it's kind of anyone's ball game.
The X Factor, Connor says this all the time, and I totally agree with him. He says, the thing that's always scary as a senior with the threat of playing her last game. And, of course, you look at Callista Vandenberg on Laconia, but you can also look at Reese Jaramillo from the Prairie School. She got her 1,000th point this year. They're going to need a big game from her, and they might get it here at the RESCH tonight.
Yeah, for sure. Last year, they had a really big game in conference against Dominican that I was at, and she had a bunch of big threes in the second half. They were down 18 in that game and came back to win it, and she was a catalyst to that. Her shooting just opens up the floor for kids like JJ Glass Barnes to get to the rim, Meg Decker to get to the rim. Her shooting is critical to how the Prairie School plays, and if she's making shots, then they're as good as anyone in D4.
Well, there's no question Barnes has to have a big game for the Prairie School. Her and Jaramillo both have to have big games for the Prairie School to run with this Laconia team. Pace-wise, if you're Prairie School, what kind of pace do you want? Because Laconia likes to run up and down, and they play so well in transition.
Yeah, it's a contrast of styles because both these teams have really, really good athletes that can get up and down the court. Namely for the Prairie School with Meg Decker, who's a standout soccer kid and could run for years on this court if she really wanted to. But it's interesting because then you have JJ Glass Barnes, who's such a good half-court player. He can get to the rim and just finish in traffic. So, I think defensively it's going to be really aggressive from the Prairie School, and Laconia's going to do what they do. And, on the offensive end, I think, TPS might slow this thing down a little bit and try to get JJ Glass Barnes going.
Well, we got to see both schools kind of do their rounds around the RESCH. Each team gets a host that goes with them to show them where to go and where the benches are. Laconia doesn't really need a host. They've been here 3 years in a row. I think Coach Morgan may have actually been the host. He was showing the kids around. But I just caught my eye on the Prairie School, and a lot of smiling faces. I didn't see a lot of like awestruck, like this is going to be too big for them. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think they're going to come in here and they're going to play hard and they're going to compete. The issue to me if I look at the first 8 minutes of this game is, can the Prairie School withstand what I call the hurricane of Laconia, which is that first few minutes, because they like to come out and just, body blow, one after the other. Can the Prairie School absorb that and keep this game close? Because it's going to be one of two things for me. Laconia is going to win in a blowout, and they're going to do it early and just run away, or we're going to see a really tight game that could go either way.
Yeah, the one thing about TPS that I've really liked is they've scheduled a really tough non-conference. Even playing Laconia at the Kennemer Thanksgiving Classic this year, but even last year, they've kind of had this goal of getting to state, and they played Pius on the road, and they were down early in that game too, and they came back and almost won that thing. So I mean, I don't know if there's really a knockout punch that Laconia can throw at them early, but you never know at the state tournament. Literally anything can happen here, which is what makes it so fun.
They're just starting to let people in. The band is here for Laconia. Prairie School folks starting to file in as well. So we are at 5:37. We're still about an hour from tip-off, 50 minutes. We'll be back at halftime to break down the first half, get you all the numbers, our take on it. So, make sure you check back with us at halftime. We're live tonight on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Twitter. So you can find us in all three places. Just pick your favorite, and that's where we'll be. For Brady Peterson, also Dave Beasley right next to me, editing away. He's dialed in, editing, getting photos ready to go out. So our whole crew is here. Connor should be here tonight, and it should be a fun night. I think Brad Lupke's going to be around tonight as well. So a big W7 crew. We're going to go out and grab some dinner after, and I don't know where we're going to get dinner that late tonight, but we'll have to figure that out. But enjoy the game. 6:30 start time. We'll be back at halftime. You've been watching W7 live from the RESCH.